So we have been talking about proportional relationships, and now we're going to move over to non-proportional relationships with tables and graphs. So in our first example, we have a table, and it wants us to use the information in the table to create a graph and choose the correct equation. So it looks like we can just go ahead and mark our values. So these are x values and these are our y values. Here's the x-axis and the y-axis. So let's label. This is guessed and this is cost. Like we've said in the past, when we have money involved, money is generally the y value. So we're going to label, here's your 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then looks like we're increasing by a lot on the side. So we can maybe start at 100 right here, and then it goes all the way up to 2050. So maybe increasing by 500. So 600, 1100, 1600, 2100. And so then we'll have to find the spacings in between. So our first value is x 50. So that means when x is 0, y is 50. So 0, 50 is going to be right there. I'm going to grab a different color. It's going to be right here in the middle, since the first line represents 100. 50 is going to represent right there. Then 550. So that's going to be almost all the way that 600 mark. And then we have 10, 1,050. So that's going to be slightly underneath there. And then 15, 1550, slightly under here. And then 20, and we're looking at 2050. It's going to be somewhere right there. Okay. So it says, write an equation that can represent, well, so with non-proportional relationships, we have an equation that we use, and that is y equals kx plus b, or y equals mx plus b, and that m and k are interchangeable depending on what we're representing. But what makes the non-proportional equation unique is that plus b. So we've been talking about proportional relationships, and I'm going to just write it over here to the side. Proportional relationships have an equation that looks like this: y equals kx. Okay, so you notice there's no plus b here, right? It's just kx. So looking at our answer choices, this one is missing a plus b. There's nothing in that space. And so that means that this is automatically not correct. And the next one here is A. So if we look at A also doesn't have anything in that space. And so both of this is proportional and this is proportional. Okay, so now we just have two options, B and D. And we've got to figure out the next step. So the next thing that's easiest is looking at your plus B. So in these two cases, it's 50, because plus B means when, and yes, I need you to write this down, when x is 0, what is y? Okay, so in order for a plus b is going to represent 0, b for your ordered pair. So look here. In this case, our ordered pair is 0, 50. So what's B? 50. So your ordered pair is 0, 50. This is B. Okay? In our table. So if we also look at the graph, wherever it is on the y-axis is your B. In this case, that's at 50. So if we're looking at our 2 plus numbers, they're both at 50. Okay, so both of them could be the equation. So now we've just got to figure out what's happening to x. So let's pick a number and plug in, okay? And I'm going to pick a different color so that we don't get too confused. Got a lot going on here. So when x is 5, y has to be 550, correct? So let's plug in this first one. Y equals x plus 50, okay? So y equals, this is what we're trying out here. We're inputting 5 and hoping we get 550 as the output. So x is 5 plus 50. When we add those together, we get 55. So is that our equation? Nope. So let's try the next one. Y, so this is D. Y equals 100 times 5, plus 50. So y equals 100 times 5 is 500 plus 50. Y equals 550. Yay, that's our answer. So answer is D. If you don't have all of this written down, please press pause and continue writing. Important things to find out here is that your B is when x is 0, what is y? In this case, x was 0, y was 50, so that's our plus 50 and where that comes from. And then the next important thing is what a non-proportional equation looks like, and that's your y equals kx plus b. Okay, so let's look at number 2. We're going to complete the following table based on the equation. So here we have y equals x minus 5. It tells us what x values are. So all we're plugging in is your process. So your process is x minus 5. Okay, so here we have negative 2 in the place of x. Negative 2 minus 5. Negative 2 minus 5. I'm going to rewrite that because my pen's going a little crazy. That's 2 negatives and 5 negatives. When we put it all together, we get a total of 7 negatives. Negative 1, and you can even put everything in parentheses if that makes you feel better. We could even make this look like a subtraction, minus 5. So again, we have negative 1 minus 5, and we have 1 negative, and we have 5 negatives, and when we put it all together, we get 6 negatives. Then we have 0 minus 5, and we have the 0, and then we have 5 negatives, and we put it together, and we still have 5 negatives. And then we have 1 minus 5. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. And then 2 minus 5, we have 2 positives and 5 negatives, and we have 3 negatives left over. Or remember, if they are inverse numbers, so we have 2 minus 5. This is positive and this is negative. They are different. Therefore, we subtract. Okay, so that would be a 5 minus 2, which is 3. And then absolute value of negative 5, absolute value of 2. This one wins. Therefore, it's a negative 3. Just a little recap on that. Okay, so here's our last table example. Which of the following statements best describes the relationship between x and y shown in the table. So the y value is 3 more than x, according to A. Y value is 3 more than x. So if we look at y, this is a 5. 5 plus 3, 5, y is 3 more than x, is what that's saying. The y, remember, is means equals 3 plus x. Remember, then means to switch. So this should actually say these two numbers switch x plus 3. Because it's addition, it doesn't really matter the order, but that's how it goes. So y equals x value, which is 2, plus 3 is 5. And that works. So let's try the next one. Y equals your x of 3 plus, it says 3 more, y equals 6. That does not work. So A is not the correct answer. Let's see here. I'm going to just rewrite that last one. Y equals x plus 3. Y equals 3 plus 3, which equals 6. Sorry, I don't know why my pen keeps going out, y'all. So it looks super spotty. Okay, so this was A, and A does not work. So let's try B. B says that Y is 1 more than, means to switch, 1/2 x. So let's write that right here. B is y equals 1/2 x plus 1. Okay, so y equals, let's try that one that didn't work for A. So let's put 3 in for x. 1/2, oops, I put a 2 right there. 1/2 times 3 plus 1. See, 1/2 times 3 over 1, 3 over 2, which equals 1/2. Okay, so now we have y equals 1/2 plus 1. So y equals 2/2. Okay, well, that does not say 2/2 right here, so that cannot work. So B is a no-go. Oops, I just circled it for the answer. B is a no-go. Okay, so let's try the next one. Y is 1 less than 3 times x. So C says y is 3x minus 1. Okay, y equals 3 times, we'll try this one. Let's plug in 4 for x minus 1. Y equals 12 minus 1, which equals 11. That is not true. So C does not work. Okay, last one. Y is 4 more than 1/2 x. Man. Okay, so y equals 4 more than 1/2 x. More than means to switch. In this case, it's addition again, so it's okay if you forget that step. But if it was subtraction, it would matter. Okay, so y equals, let's go ahead and do the 3 again. That's this right here, plus 4. So we already said that 1/2 times 3 over 1 equals 1/2, correct? Plus 4. 1/2 plus 4 equals 5/2. Did we get the right answer? Yay, we did. Okay, let's try it again. Y equals 1/2 times, let's plug this one in because that one didn't work for 1. So in the place of x, I'm plugging in 4 plus 4. Y equals 4, 1/2 times 4 over 1, which equals 4 over 2. Y equals 4 divided by 2 is 2, plus 4 is 6. Bam, it works. So our answer is D. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions.